section of East Coast of India with special reference to deltas. I had the opportunity to work under him for about 4 years. I was there as a research fellow. Some disturbance is going on, madam. Some disturbance is going on. Anyway, I'm thankful to him for giving me this opportunity. I have the occasion of working for about 38 years in the university and the University of Madras, Madurai Kamaraj University, Sri Krishna University, various universities. I worked as a research associate, lecturer, and professor, reader, and professor. And I retired from the university service in 2016, July 31st. Now, at present, I am in Hyderabad. I am thankful to the Devendra Prasad for giving me this opportunity, who was responsible for conducting these founders and makers of modern geography in India under the Institute of Environmental Research and Rural Development, Patna, Bihar. With this brief introduction, I would like to invite all the members of this President Rana Pratap, Bodh Gaya University, Bihar, Professor Smita Vilas Rao Chauhan from Mumbai University, Professor B. Hema Malini, who was my colleague in Andhra University, from Andhra University, Professor KNP Raju, that is KN Prithviraju from Benares Hindu University, Professor Atta Virar Rahman from Peshawar, Professor R.S. Yadav from Varanasi, Professor Amigwaram Dam Madurai Kamaraj University, where I had been there, worked for about 7 years in Madurai Kamaraj University as a lecturer from 1981 to 1987. And the guests of honor, Professor R.S. Yadav from Varanasi and also from Ambikaran. Then observers of South Asian Geographers Association, that is Safar Ali, Sabdar Ali Shiraji from Lahore, Professor M.S. Islam from Dhaka, Professor L.M. Dharmasira from Kelania, Professor Praveen Satpurshi from Pune, I know very him Satpurshi, Dr. Rajar from Trasujui Gang, and Fidel Rahimi from Kabul. So from all these persons are observers. And Dr. Sunita from Professor P. Sunita will be giving the vote of thanks, and Devendra P. Singh Patna from Patna, and the Professor Ambarish Kumar Rai, Bihar, Anit Kumar, Bihar. All these are the persons who have been involved in this particular major program to tell about Professor R. Vaidyanadhan, who was basically a geology man, but he has contributed a lot to the geography department of the Andhra University, and we are all responsible for him, and we are all happy to work under him and learned particularly air photo interpretation under his guidance. He's basically a geomorphologist. So I'm also a geomorphologist. I also did my PhD work under him on geomorphology and evolution of modern Godavari Delta. So I'm very happy to join with you in this meeting and welcome you all for the participation on this occasion of describing about the achievements and the works of the carried out by Professor R. Vaidyanathan by my colleague Dr. K.N.P. Raju. Once again thank you all and also welcome you all for this episode, that is 55th episode of Founders and Makers of Modern Geography. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor M. Sambasiva Rao, sir, for your very warm and hearty welcome address to one and all present here. I would also like to say that today we are having birthday of Professor Praveen Saptarshi, sir, and on behalf of entire founders and makers of modern geography, modern geographers. We all wish him a very happy birthday with lots of blessings from Almighty on this auspicious day. Happy birthday, Dr. Praveen Saptarshi, sir. With due permission from Professor Rana Pratap, sir, our president of the session, I would like to give a brief introduction of our president, chief guest, and the speaker on this occasion. It's indeed an honor and pleasure to me to introduce this great galaxies of geographers as the president of the occasion today. Professor
Okay.
Rasbihari Prasad Singh, sir, uh, was born on 2nd December 1950 with a long career of teaching right from 1976 to 1992 as a lecturer, reader, and professor, and later in 2005 as visiting fellow in Department of Geography, Tribal Culture in Mizoram Central University, Aizuru. Sir is also president of the Governing Body of Bihar and Jharkhand. School Education Curriculum Frame Committee, constituted by the Department of Education, Government of Bihar. Sir is chairman on Advisory Committee, Sri Krishna Science Center, Patna, constituted by Government of India. Sir is also president of the governing body of Mahavir Arogya Samsthan, Patna, and patron of Association of Geography, Bihar and Jharkhand. Sir is editor-in-chief, Geographical Perspective, annual bilingual peer-reviewed journal of Patna University, Patna, and member of governing body of Virigiri University, Siwan, Bihar. Sir is also patron on Gautam Buddha Gramin Vikas Samstha, Delhi, and member of Senate, Patna University. Sir is also member of governing body of Gopal Naren Singh University, Sasaram, Bihar, and member of Bihar State District Gazetteer Preparation Committee, constituted by Department of Revenue, Government of Bihar. Sir has held various positions formerly as Vice Chancellor of Patna University, Patna, Vice Chancellor of Nalanda Open University, Patna, Chairman of Advisory Committee on Higher Education to His Excellency, the Governor of Bihar, Patna, and Head of Department of Geography, Patna University, Director of UGC SAP DRS Department of Geography, Patna University, President of National Association of Geographers India, President of the Deccan Geographical Society. Sir has authored 7 books, 36 research papers, publications, and 21 international exposures to his credit. Sir has also presided over a technical session on geopolitics in IG meeting at Seoul in South Korea in 2020. He had various awards and felicitations to his contributions, such as Lifetime Achievement Award by Nai Dhara Social Service Society, Patna, Google Bhushan Award by DJSI Society, India, Global Leadership Excellence Award in 2016 by Educational Development Council, Patna, Karuna Maitri Award in 2014 by Buddhist Mission of India, Star of Asia Award of 2014 by International Institute of Education and Management, New India, Swami Vivekananda Award for Excellence in Higher Education by India Institute of Oriental Institute, Kolkata, 2019. His fields of specialization is geography spans into environmental geography, urban geography, and regional planning, social geography, and political geography. Sir, we are really very much motivated by your such a great contribution and blessed to have you here today as our president of our session. Thank you very much, sir, for being here and accepting to preside over the. Uh, I'm also pleased and happy to introduce our chief guest of the session, Professor Hema Malini, Madam. Madam has retired as professor and former head Department of Geography from Andhra University, Visakhapatnam, and is presently honorary professor in the Department of Geography, Andhra University. Madam has her master degree in science faculty and doctoral degree, completed 8 research projects, guided successfully 8 MPhil and 15 PhD research scholars. Madam has attended 8 international conferences with the countries of Japan, Sydney, China, and 70 national conferences. She has been a visiting professor at Texas State University, San Marcos in the year 2009. Madam's contribution to the co-curricular activities is commendable as she has successfully organized 2 international conferences, one on medical geography in 2009 and other on climate change, present concerns in 2013. Madam has to her credit research publications in the form of 115 papers, textbook on physical geography for FYB students. Her excellence and contribution to the subject and discipline has showered her with many awards, namely Best Researcher Award in 2005, conferred by Andhra University, Environmentalist of the Year Award 2007, conferred by National Environmental Science Academy, New Delhi, Geography Teachers Award in 2012 by DJSI Society Pune, Google Bhushan Award in 2019 by DJSI Society Pune. Madam has successfully completed her nomination as President elected for Nagi, in 2020, 21, 2022, past President of Nagi. She has life membership of various academic associations and is also nominated as member on the editorial board of the journals such as Deccan Geographer and Punjab Geographers. Her love towards the subject is well known to all the geographers through her donations for sponsoring various awards such as Young Geographer Award in Deccan Geographical Society Pune, Eminent Geographer Award by in National Association of Geographers India, and Promising Geographer Award in Association of Geographers Punjab. Thank you, Madam, so much for your auspicious presence here for gracing the occasion. We have today's speaker, Professor Ken Prudvi Raju, sir. He has done his MSc in 74-76 with specialization in geomorphology and PhD in 1981 under the supervision of Professor R. Vaidyanadhan, sir, from Andhra University, Visakhapatnam. He is also blessed to be a student of a research scholar of today's episode dedicated to Vaidyanathan, sir. His postdoctoral research fellow was in 82 and his career started as a school teacher in 1983 to 85, later as assistant professor up to 91 in Jamia Millia Islamia University, Delhi, associate professor in 1999 in Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi, and professor and HOD from 1999 to 2018. Sir has guided 12 PhD candidates successfully, has 68 research publications to his credit. He has completed 2 research projects sponsored by SACE IR and DST. Post superannuation, sir is engaged in research and penning poetry in English and as his hobby. Thank you very much, sir, for accepting to take the session today as speaker of the 55th episode. And with permission of our president, Professor Rana Pratap Singh, sir, I now request Professor Raju, sir, to please take over the session. Thank you, sir.
Good day, everyone. Are you able to hear me, sir? Are you able to hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Then are you able to see
Yes, sir.
my PPT? Are you all able to see the PPT? I kept it open.
Not it.
No, sir.
No.
It has to.
No, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Not visual.
Okay, I will now.
गजब हाल है लेकिन आप लोगों का भी पत्नी को उधर छोड़े हुए दो
तो आपके साथ नहीं तो आपकी ना खड़ा कराएंगे तो
बोला ही नहीं पर
क्या मतलब ऐसा क्या प्रॉब्लम था गजब हाल है मतलब मिली नहीं हम उससे इनसे नहीं मिली
How about now, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
now visible sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
मतलब हम लोग
A good day, everyone.
Same to you.
Namaskar.
इनको जानना
President
नहीं जाना पड़ा
of this evening's lecture, Professor Rana Pratap, convener Professor Savita Smita Vilas Raj Chavan, chief guest Professor B. Hemamalini, he had been my teacher, and special guest Professor Ataur Rahman, guest of honor Professor R.S. Yadav, Professor E. Himayavaramban, and Professor Sam Sivarao, and observers from South Asia Geographers Association, Sabdar Ali Shirazi, Umesh Kumar Mandal, MS Islam, LM Dharmashri, Praveen Saptrishi, Azir, Fidel Rahmati, P. Sunita, and Ambrish Kumar Rai and Amit Kumar and all others who have joined. Now, last thing first, Professor Devendra Prasad's efforts in organizing these lectures on founders and makers of modern geography in India under the auspices of Environmental Research, Institute of Environmental Research and Rural Development are laudable. It's really praiseworthy. Especially in my case, I am fortunate because I don't know many of you. It's an opportunity given by him to come across you all, to see you all, to meet you all, and to talk to you all. It's a great opportunity. Thank you, sir. Professor Rajagopala Vaidyanadhan. Rajagopala is his father's name. In Tamil Nadu, father's name gets attached as surname. So that's how he is Rajagopala Vaidyanadhan. His father's name is Rajagopala. Professor Rajagopala Vaidyanathan, he was born to Rajagopala Iyer and Srimati Avayambal on 21st September 1931 in Kallakurichi village of South Arcot district in Tamil Nadu. This is the old photograph of his parents. And his early education. There's a primary education. You can see this. I need not read through all that in Tamil Nadu. So his movement within states is the groundwork to be a geographer, in fact. And he became one. Kottambakam, Kallakurchi, primary education, then Guntakal, Andhra Pradesh, by his father's job. His father was in railways, and by his father's job, he had a great opportunity to move to places. Guntakal in Andhra Pradesh, then again back to Chennai, Villivakam in higher secondary, and intermediate in Vijayawada in Andhra Pradesh, and finally BSc in geology in Andhra University and MSc in geology in Andhra University. Yeah. Now, profession-wise, 1954, he was taken as demonstrator. Not everyone is taken as demonstrators there. Looking at his ability and efficiency, the head of the department, the then head of the department, Professor Kalamur Mahadevan, a very heavyweight of a personality in geology circles. He just gave an opportunity to Professor R. Vaidyanathan to get into the department as a demonstrator in Department of Geology. He's basically our Samsiro essay, given a brief introduction about him, is basically a geologist. And thank goodness he got into geomorphology, which had given him an opportunity to come to us, come to geography. Then he joined as lecturer in 1954-59, and then he got the Smith Munch Fulbright Fellowship in America, 1959-60. In fact, that is the ground that has made him a very pioneer in aerial photo interpretation in India. He is one of the pioneers in aerial photo interpretation in India at the time. He had been in Ohio State University and United States Geological Survey, learning aerial photo interpretation, cartography, photogrammetry, and photogeology. Then he came back in 1960 to his parent department and then started immediately a course in photogeology in the geology department. Then he got ultimately his PhD degree. He had been doing right from 1954, he had been doing research and culminated in a PhD degree in 1963. He worked on a topic, geomorphology of part of a Kadapa basin. 1966-74, he was reader in Department of Geology. And 1972, when the department started in the Andhra University, at the initiation of, in fact, um, Professor V.L.S. Prakash Rao, one of the great stalwarts of geographers, he took initiative in starting a geography department in Andhra University. So we were very lucky, students were very lucky, students. And thank you, sir, Professor V.L.S. Prakash Rao, sir, is in heaven. And as a reader in geology, he was given responsibility to look after the geography department. So, and I tell you here one interesting thing. In 1974, there was a post advertised, reader in geography. Professor Vaidyanadhan applied for it, and Professor V.L.S. Prakash was the chairman of almost, he was like a chairman, right? Then he was the chairman of the board of selection committee, and in spite of opposition from several others, he was given leadership in geography. Very rightly, it's not unusual because geomorphology is one of the important branches of geography. So that's a great event in his life, and especially in our lives, as a students' lives. Then 1976-91, 1974, he took over as head of the department officially. And again, 1976, there was a retirement professor post. Professor was asked to apply for it. He was reluctant. He said, no, it doesn't look nice. No. The then Vice Chancellor has asked him to apply. Then university needs you, especially the Geographer needs you. Then he applied for it. Again, there is opposition, but V.L.S. Prakash Rao set aside all their opposition and objections and then selected him as professor. So, thank you once again, sir, Professor V.L.S. Prakash Rao ji. Then 1974 till 81, he had been at the department, the department like anything. I tell you, I will share all those contributions once I complete this, finish up with this slide. Then 1974-81. 81, he set out and joined the University of Dar es Salaam in Tanzania. You know, he's an altruist. He went there only to give an opportunity to his colleague, next in senior, to become head of the department, I tell you. It's not just like that. To give an opportunity to his junior, a geographer, a lady, Professor S. Indira Devi, and she wanted very much to become head of the department. So, to give an opportunity to her to become head of the department, he left out of India, and then he went out of India and joined the University of Dar es Salaam in Tanzania. And he came back, and that was his altruism. A great man, a great person. Then he was there for a couple of years as a professor and retired from service in 1991. Now, you see a small slide reflecting his personality. This is one of the portraits I have written about him as a poem. Small and simple in erudition a model. A man and teacher with qualities ideal, always untaught in time with routine regimental, in speech eloquent and in speed mercurial. Yeah, personality-wise is very small and simple. And in erudition, in learning, in knowledge, is really a marvel, a gem of a marvel. Right? Vast knowledge is whatever is supposed to, as a teacher, whatever knowledge, the amount of knowledge is, as a teacher, one is supposed to have, he had all that knowledge, very thorough knowledge of the subject. That is one of the essential qualifications of a teacher, thorough knowledge in the subject. So he was the one with the thorough knowledge in the subject, and with qualities ideal. All his qualities are ideal. He had knowledge of the subject and a very fluent, beautiful expression, and very vast reading and writing. And he's always on dot in time. And let me share one anecdote, one experience. He's so punctual and he's so routine, regimentally routine. as if he is a soldier. It is like that. See, that was one of the classes, a fieldwork class. Professor R. Vaidyanadhan, just he was exactly at 7, he was there at the gate. We saw him. He came and he asked us, come along. He asked us to board a bus, come along. Then there was one absentee, a latecomer. Then we requested him, sir, wait, one of our students, one of us is coming. Then he said, no, no waiting latecomers. Let us carry on. Such a punctuality. Very punishing punctuality. So always on dotting time with routine regimental, in speech eloquent and speed mercurial. No, he used to walk. A climb of 100 steps, he used to climb first and used to wait, used to reach the place and wait for us. He used to lag behind him. A very fast walk, very fast walk, and his speed mercurial. Okay. Then here he became a teacher by choice, not by chance. Not by chance. How? See, he is the head of the department of geology, his guru. His guru, in fact, has asked him to compete in UPSC exams. He just asked him, okay, you are fit to be an IS officer, you are a UPSC staff, you take UPSC examination. Then he said, no, sir, I'm not fit for that post. I will not take it. Rather, I want to become a teacher. In fact, it's a different matter. Professor Kalur Mahodayan, his head of department, became angry. He became very angry that he did not listen to him. Kalur Mahodayan as such. Whoever has not listened to him, he never used to look at him at all. And Professor R. Vaidyanadhan got punished for that lapse. Okay, that's a different thing, a different story. Guruji is a workaholic, used to work his worship to him, and it had never been a 10 to 5 job to him. At 7, he used to be in the department, and at 5, he used to leave, come back, and again in the night, he used to be in the department, and again like that, every day after day. He used to just stick to the department, come to the department, spend a lot of time with students, teaching, doing research and whatnot, everything. He had been at his home a very brief time in a day. He used to carry lunch. It's just a 5 minutes walk to his home, but still he used to carry lunch. Of course, that was not carried by him. Lunch, he used to employ a person, right, by paying some money, and he used to get him for his lunch. So that was, such was his dedication. Then, as far as his contributions to geography, let me tell you, it's a different matter, has produced a great galaxy of students, right? He was the one, a visionary. That was a semester system we studied under, and it was a 5-day week in semester system. And Professor R. Vaidyanadhan, luckily for us, and very intelligently, because that was the need of geography, need of geography, attended to it. He scheduled one full day fieldwork in the timetable. One full day fieldwork in the timetable. I don't think any other department in India, I don't know about Bangladesh and Pakistan, very big countries, there is one full fieldwork day in any timetable of any geography department. No. We especially enjoyed our studies because of that. It is literally 4-day week. Really enjoyable. 4-day week we enjoyed our studies. One full day used to take us to the field, used to introduce us to the field, or rather, he used to introduce the field to us. So that helped a lot in our research. So unlike, I tell you an example here. One of my students, I took him to the field and I asked him to stay in the field for 10 days. Everything was set, even the kitchen, then his food, and then lodge, everything was taken care of. I said, you work around for 10 days and come back. with whatever you collect and with whatever you see. You know what happened with that student? He came back the next day. I returned to department. He came back the next day and said, "So, sir, I am not able to see what and to map what, to see what," and then quite lost in the field. He doesn't know what to observe, how to make measurements, things like that. So that we did not have that. Then we had a great opportunity to learn and to get in touch with the field because of this field work. Then we were lucky. There was one full-fledged theory paper in aerial photo interpretation. No other department that time had a full-fledged theory paper in aerial photo interpretation. You know, I know it. Only some tidbits of it as a practical, not as a theory. No. So a full-fledged theory paper in aerial photo interpretation and a full-fledged practical in aerial photo interpretation. A full-fledged 100 marks, 4 credits practical in aerial photo interpretation. That helped us a lot, the students. We became experts in aerial photo interpretation and ultimately in remote sensing. The interpretation techniques are one and the same. And on full-fledged theory and practical in cartography, of course, this is very common in all other departments. I don't especially point out any laxity in any other department. But in certain departments, there never used to be a complete practical and a theory. A few tidbits, half of the paper is like that. Especially in our department, BHU. So these two, full-fledged theory and practical in cartography. And then geomorphology, climatology, oceanography, of course, we study in every department. It's very traditional. And under lithosphere, atmosphere, hydrosphere, we study this. It's all right. But geography departments have a bias. Certain geography departments, most of the geography departments, especially in the North India, not having coastline, they used to ignore oceanography. An expanded paper in second year or third year. There used to be some great importance to geomorphology and a little less importance to climatology and no importance at all to oceanography. But Professor Vaidyanadhan, he saw to it that all these 3 branches, important branches, are given the same equal weightage. Of course, there is something more. You have the spatial organization, you have population studies, and you have regional geography, region of India. All of the things are there, but this is one thing that I'm pointing out only because the oceanography is ignored in most of the departments in North India. Very, very unusually. And he got the Best Teacher Award of Andhra Pradesh. All the universities put together and all the professors put together. It was one award. You know, he couldn't attend the award ceremony because when the award ceremony was going on, he was busy working in a remote part of Andhra Pradesh in Kadapa Basin with a training team of students. And okay, now let me tell you, his contribution is his students. To say frankly, he contributed a lot to the subject. I will share with you a few points about that. You know, Dr. Y.V.N. Krishnamurthy had been director of an RSC, a geographer. Our junior had been director of an RSC, had been a director in RRSC Nagpur, Regional Remote Sensing Center, had been director of Indian Remote Sensing Center in Dehradun. All that was possible, you know, the student occupying such high positions, all India positions, it was possible only because of this aerial photo interpretation as theory and practical, ultimately making the students experts in remote sensing. Wherever we went, we performed well. And Dr. S.K. Patna, he retired as, of course, he passed away. He had been head Space Application Center, Ahmedabad. Dr. V. Raghuswamy, Group Deputy Director of Operations, Land Use in NRSC. They are all from our department. They are all Professor Vaidyanadhan students. And we entered in very unusual departments. If you know, thoda dabba lagega. I was the first to join. I was the first geographer to join IIT Bombay in engineering department. Of course, not as a faculty, as a project officer. What enabled me to join there? What made them to accept me there in IIT Bombay? It was my remote sensing and aerial photo integration. That's it. And see, one of his students, Professor K.V. Mahalakshmi, a geographer, he became head of the Department of Geology. He is professor in remote sensing. In a geology department, Professor K. Nageswar Rao had been in geoengineering department in Engineering College of Andhra University. These are his achievements. And Professor K. Nageswar Rao is a name like Professor B. Hemamalni. They had been colleagues. Right? Geoengineering in engineering college. And if I could get a job, lecturer's job in Jamia Millia Islamia without application, I tell you. Without application. Professor Munis Raza saw to it that I am there only because there was a lecturer in remote sensing and he thought I'm fit enough to become a lecturer. Then he recommended my case and I joined there in Jamia Millia Islamia as a lecturer in remote sensing. Then if I could get radar and remote sensing in Banaras University with the same qualification, radar and remote sensing. That is the radar and remote sensing. So here you have a list of, you can see yourself, and so many geologists. Yeah, I forgot to mention another name. Dr. SVBK Krishna Bhagwan, the geographer. He had been director of Andhra Pradesh State Remote Sensing Center. He had been director. So, if you care any contribution, care for contribution to geography, this is one of the important contributions. These students are his contribution to the subject. Right. Next, I tell you, see, as far as subject is concerned, let me tell you, he wanted the geography subject to become a professional subject. It was possible, in fact, nobody took a cue from him. In fact, in one of his presidential addresses in IAG, one IAG meet, then that was his speech, how to make geography into a professional subject. I tell you here, the potential of geography to become a professional subject, unfortunately, no department took a cue from that and tried to make it really professional. You know, see, the geology department of Andhra University, the geophysics department of Andhra University, and geoengineering department of Andhra University, these three departments, they used to take our services, student services. And because of that association with geologists and geophysicists, we used to learn most of their techniques. Very intentionally used to put all of us, these research scholars as well as students, under geologists and geophysicists so that they can learn their trade. So with the result, you know, thoda dabba lagega, I can do resistivity survey, I can do interpretations. My recent 2024 publication is tomography, resistivity, electrical resistivity tomography. How could I get it? I got it only because the Professor Vaidyanadhan used to care that his students should become experts in many other branches which are a requirement to become a good geographer, which are a requirement in fact. Why? Because we are an inclusive subject and we borrow several techniques and several methods from other subjects. You got to be an expert. To be a good geographer, you got to be an expert in many subjects: economics, social sciences, statistics, mathematics, geophysics, geology, everything. Because it is a unique inclusive subject. Geography is a unique inclusive subject unlike other subjects. So we picked up so many such techniques from geologists and geophysicists. Right, soil analysis. sediment analysis. A full-fledged laboratory used to be there in our department, and we published a paper. I published a paper along with other research scholars in soil analysis in Journal Geology of India. Right, and I have completed one sediment analysis with the latest instrumentation very recently. It's going to come. It's going to come. So he made his students to gather and to learn as much knowledge as possible from the other relevant branches and he made us into good geographers. No doubt in that. And that should be the motto of geography department. We can turn and the geologists going to the field and the geographer, geophysicists going to the field used to take us to the field. Used to take us to the field. You know, one thing, fir dabba lagega. I was with a geologist of Geology of India. We were in the field. We trained them. Professor Vaidyanadhan has trained many Geologists of India officers in their initial stages. And I was with one of the batches. I went to the field and I asked them a question that you see that hill and can you tell me what is the deep, which direction is the deep, right? And which direction is the deep? He said, no, I'm not able to make out. Right. It was a conical small hillock. I was not able to make out. Then I said, see, you can make out in such cases the dip direction based on vegetation. In the debris slope, there will be good amount of vegetation compared to the dip slope. Dip slope vegetation will be less. He was so happy. I see. That's how we used to train geologists. They don't bother debris slope. We bother debris slope. They bother dip slope. And we bother, because of our subject, inclusiveness of the subject, we bother about vegetation. How will be the vegetation over a hill? With a clear strike. So naturally, debris slope will harbor a good vegetation. And that's how we identify. Like that. And then a lineament, we mark fracture and a fall. On the ground, they are unable to mark it. On the ground. We go. That was in fact the first practical lesson Professor Vaidyanadhan trained us in our first field work. How to mark our location on a topo sheet. How to mark our location on a topo sheet. We go to the field, we carry a topo sheet, and it's very essential that you know where you are standing in the map. You must be able to locate yourself in the field on the map. That was the first practical lesson we learned in our first fieldwork outing. So, and this technique, this art has helped us to mark lineament on the ground. And geophysicists fail to. They fail. They don't learn it. It's such a simple thing. So we used to show that, okay, yeah, this lineament, this fracture is passing like this on the ground. Check for the groundwater. Check for the groundwater. That's it. Then again, I tell you, Professor R. Vaidyanadhan was in the diamond investigation team of JSI. He was advisor. There was a meeting in JSI. That the pipe we are exploiting is exhausted. The volcanic pipe, which contains diamonds. Pipe is a location where diamonds are expected. Volcanic pipe. So the pipe already they had been mining, and then they said they finally closed that pipe mine, and said they called for a meeting. Professor Vaidyanadhan was there, and in that meeting what happened? Very simple. He said, "Did you map sister pipes?" That is geography. Did you map the sister pipes? If that pipe has any sister pipes, you point it out. That's simple. That's it. That clinched it. GSI explored for sister pipes. They located a couple of sister pipes, and they are still mining diamonds from the sister pipes. That is geomorphology of a geography. Sister pipes. We care for sister pipes. Volcanic landforms we study. Geologist only cares for a pipe, but not a sister pipe. We care. So that's it. The next. There is East Coast Bauxite Project, I tell you. East Coast Bauxite Project. One Dr. P.K. Ramam had been its coordinator. A very big job. Ultimately, GSA has proven world's third largest bauxite deposits in India that time under that project after assessment. It's a very difficult terrain in the Eastern Ghats, covering parts of Orissa and Andhra Pradesh. And Professor Vaidyanadhan was asked for inputs, said, please give us inputs. And that was first my research area, in fact. I changed it for various reasons, I'll tell you. Now, Devendra Prasad ji and Professor Rana Pratap ji, please, time. I can cut it short, no problem.
No, sir. No, sir. You go
Okay.
as you like.
You know, that P.K. Ramam has approached Professor Vaidyanathan, and I was a fresh research scholar, just joined a few months before. And then he introduced me to Dr. P.K. Ramam. And he asked said, what should be our method of exploration for these bauxite, to prove bauxite deposits? You know, he indicated a very, very crucial point, slopes. Geologists don't bother about slopes, but geographer, geomorphologists bother about slopes. Because entire evolution of Earth's surface depends on slopes, the Davis banks and things, whatever concepts they study. He said, the flatter the slope, or the gentler the slope, you are expected to have more bauxite than over steep slopes. This should be your basis. And for slope measurement and other things, and I give you my student, you take him. I went with Dr. Ramam, I stayed there in his camps and tents for 3 months, and I read a lot under geologists, and I helped him. I took with the Abni level and plain table, I prepared many profiles and I given him many profiles. Said, these are the profiles, now you mark your locations. Because, see, exploration is a very expensive program. They drill, especially. They dig trenches, they dig pits, involving a lot of expenditure in hard rock. So drilling in hard rock, first drilling, then they do trenching, then they do pitting. All this is very expensive in hard rocks, and carrying, in fact, a bulldozer, a drill machine to the site of borehole has to be decided, taking into consideration many things, whether it is worth it to poke there or not. It's not worth, that would be lost like 17, 20 lakhs per bore, one drill hole. And so he had given locations based on. Dr. P.K. Ramam has decided locations based on my slopes, slope profiles. Okay, you put a bore here, put a bore here, you put a bore here. Then after that, trench and pits. 60 feet trench in hard rock, long trench, about 40, 50 feet trench, and 20, 30 feet deep. And pits, 60 feet deep, pits, square pits and rectangle pits. So minimize the GS has minimized the exploration cost based on the exploration design given by our professor, Vaidyanadhan. You know what happened? I took many photographs and done all the readings and other things in the field and left the maps with them. And then when I was coming back home in a bus, in a overcrowded bus, I lost my film rolls and notebook. I shifted to a different topic. But that was a great experience I had with the geologists. So such is the knowledge that Professor Vaidyanathan imparted to us, and such is the human knowledge in matters connected with the geomorphology, right? And how it helps in mineral exploration. How it helps in mineral, it helps. See here, we used to help geophysicists in groundwater exploration. in residuary surveys, in ground exploration. We used to assist even geologists in their mineral explorations. Right. His students, all his students, and he himself used to. Then again, one of the projects, one of the projects he has taken up with YNGC, remarkable. YNGC has given him a project, especially over the deltas, in which Professor Samdara has worked. Samsirao, Professor K. Nageswarrao worked in those projects and then mapped the delta and identified what are called morphostructures, possible locations for gas and petroleum. And all morphostructures were further explored by soundings, by deep soundings, and deposits were proven. Gas and petroleum deposits proven. And the initial, right, inputs are given by Professor Vaidyanadhan and Samsirao and Nageswarrao's maps, through their maps. That's it. Very important. So this way, the geography departments, right, should teach their subject in such a way that it can become a professional subject, and it has potential to become a professional subject. No doubt in that. No doubt in that. Right. Okay. Now let me hear Professor Vaidyanadhan, Professor R. Vaidyanadhan. He has about 77 publications in all. These are list of his publications. And the terrain evaluation, see the projects he has handled. Terrain evaluation sponsored by Ministry of Defense, 1962-65. BHU Professor R.L. Singh also got this project. Professor R.L. Singh also got this project. Right, the same terrain evaluation for certain area. He did for certain area. And then CSR project and topo sheets, 2 booklets are there. Professor R. Vaidyanadhan has published 2 very good practical books. Showing the importance of maps and aerial photos in studying the features, landforms and features. One CSR project on topo sheets and one UC project and aerial photos. 2 booklets he has published. And then there is one hill slope development sponsored by Planning Commission, New Delhi. This is another project. Then morphology of Krishna Godavari deltas is by ONGC, and coastal geomorphic mapping by ISRO. These are the projects he has handled. Yeah, these are the several training programs he has conducted. Geomorphic mapping, sponsored by Geological of India, right? Then the geomorphic mapping field training for 2-3 GSI teams, GSI scientists, and geomorphology from maps and aerial photos. It is a DST sponsored project. And interpretation of landforms from aerial photos and remote sensing images, a training program at Mahabaleshwar. These are the training programs he has conducted. And post-retirement distinctions and contributions. Professor R. Vaidyanadhan had been editor of Journal Geological of India from 1992-95 after his retirement. Then vice president of the Geological of India during 1998, 2001, 2001, 2004, and 2013-16. And then one of his greatest contributions is post-retirement contribution. It's a 2-volume book on geology of India. Krishnan's and Wadia's book on geology of India, a very old book, a 40 years old books, right? They were replaced by Geology of India, latest books, Geology of India, latest volumes, 2 books, Geology of India, with the joint authorship of M. Ramakrishnan. That was a great contribution by Professor R. Vaidyanadhan, right? And not only to geologists, as well to geographers. And this book, one unique feature of the book is it was published in 2007-8, and all the copies were sold, and then it was revised in 2010. Again, all copies were sold. The revised edition, all copies were sold, right? And here, along with the another contribution is along with Professor K.V. Subbarao, a geochemist from IIT Bombay. Then he published a book. Professor R. Vaidyanadhan has published Identification of Landforms, Maps, Aerial Photos, and Circular Imagery. This is published in 2014 by Geological of India. And he was honored with Lifetime Achievement Award in Earth Sciences by NRTC and MSME, Scientific Society of America. And he was also recipient of Golden Jubilee Honor of the Geological of Bangalore. And in his honor, GSA has brought out a special issue in his honor in December 1924, last year, December. It is a special issue of General Geographer of India, right? And in which, in fact, I have a couple of papers published. I have two papers in the same issue. Then awards issued in his name. Then we students put an amount of 3 lakhs to issue an award in the Department of Geography to class first student, Mrs. Geography in Andhra University. And then with 5 lakhs corpus, we have issued an award in Geological Society of India. Geological of India. Right, it's called Professor R. Vaidyanadhan Endowment Award, Lecture Award. So this shows the love and affection and the duty they have towards Professor. We have, the students have towards Vaidyanadhan. We pulled up. We did not beg a lot, otherwise we would have pulled up a lot more. 3 lakhs, one award, and 5 lakhs another award. And Professor R. Vaidyanadhan, he commanded great respect and he never demanded it. And I especially call him as a sage of Andhra University. Then the family. Once Professor R. Vaidyanadhan has confessed that he could do whatever he could do, right? Whatever he did in his professional life is all because of unstinted support and sacrifice of his wife, late Srimati Lakshmi, and sons Sridhar and Ravi. And his wife is no more. His sons are there in Bombay, and he's living with his 2 sons. He is Sridhar and he is Ravi, and his wife. So he's a very honest family man, confessed to have got lot of support and help from his family, from his wife and the children. I know it. Give them time that is due to them. He never gave time to his wife that is due to her, and he never gave time to his sons that is due to them. Right? Always work and work and work, and teaching and teaching and teaching. And he's such a teacher. I tell you, I quote, I read out. There is Sanskrit quartet stanza 4 lines. Then I wish to recite it. Janmaneka Shataihi, hundreds of births. Right. Sadadar Yujaha Bhaktya Samaradito Bhaktair Vaidika Lakshanena Vidina Staisha Swayam Sakshat Sri Guru Mechya Krupaya Gochara San Prabhu Tatum Sadhu Vibhodhyataritam Sansara Dukarnavat. This is it. The essence of these four lines is the virtue one accrues through generations, through births of good deeds, through various births of good deeds, right? And that gets accumulated. God is pleased with that and then comes down as a guru. So guru is none other than God. So all that virtue comes down. Because of that virtue, God comes down as a guru and then teaches us life and enables us to pass life successfully. So we got such a great guru. He is God himself. He is God himself, right? Going by these 4 lines, and he made us. He made the Department of Geography. Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Professor K.M. Raju. I really don't have words to express the way you have covered up right till date. The enormous amount of contribution, not only to the subject, but even to the students associated with him. And we have experienced interacting with Sir at Mumbai University on various occasions. He's so down to earth and he is so knowledgeable, and he explains in a very lucid way that even a child who is not so clever is able to understand the subject well. So great namaste to Professor Vaidyanathan sir. Today I had a call with him and requested him to join online if possible, but we know his age is 93 today at present. and therefore he has said that kindly continue. I won't be able to join, but my blessings are always there with you. The real Guru Dakshina that is given to Vaidyanathan sir is the way all his students have achieved the positions at various levels, national and very strategic levels. That's the real contribution that we can see, and that is the real Guru Dakshina his students have offered to him by giving their best in whatever places they are. Not only to the educational institutions, but also to the nation through their services. Thank you so much, sir, for being there and accepting invitation. Kindly keep us blessed to give our best. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much. I would now request, with permission from our president, Professor Rana Pratap sir. Uh,
Yes, please.
yes, thank you.
Please go. Please go ahead. Please go on.
Thank you, sir. I would like to invite and request Professor Hema Malini, Madam, Chief Guest of the episode, to say a few words. Madam, please.
Yes, thank you very much. At the outset, I am thankful to the organizers of the 55th episode of online lecture series on founders and makers of modern geography in India for inviting me as the chief guest. My special thanks to Professor Devendra Prasad, who is conducting this very high task. And my respects are due to Professor Rana Pratap sir, Professor K.N. Prithviraj, Professor Y.S. Yadav, Professor M.A. Varaban, Professor Ambarish, Professor Dr. Amit Kumar, Professor Samsuragaru, Professor Sunita, observers from South Asia Geographer Association, Professor Sabdar Ali Shirak, a convener of this series, Professor Sabit Smita, and many more other online academicians. Professor Raju gave a detailed information about Professor R. Vaidyanathan, our guru, and with my great respects to Professor R. Vaidyanathan, a teacher and researcher of par excellence, I wish to share some of my nostalgic memories of our journey with him as a student and a researcher. As the first batch of geography started in 1972 in Andhra University. It started in meteorology first, then it separated from meteorology department. And during studying in geography, I am thoroughly trained in research and teaching under the able guidance of the Professor Vaidyanathan, who is a known eminent geologist. We are very fortunate to visualize and study the rare coastal landforms of in and around Visakhapatnam coast. And it was a very precious memory to visit very remote places also. For example, we have visited badland areas of Visakhapatnam district, Visakhapatnam coast. Now there is no access to and he conducted field works with the students, and we are very very fortunate to have him as our professor of geography, and we are enjoyed as well as we have got so much of knowledge, field knowledge from him. And Professor Vaidyanathan guided my thesis work also with collaboration with Professor VP Subramaniam of Meteorology Department. He is a known climatologist, and with his encouragement, Professor Vaidyanathan's encouragement, I got luckily first doctorate in the department. So Professor R.V. Vaidyanathan inspired all the research students to bring out innovative research and created competition to publish many research papers among the research students. All the students to whom he has given guidance for their PhD attained higher positions, as Professor Raju mentioned, both in academic and scientific organizations. I can say that because of Professor Vaidyanadhan also, everybody got such higher positions. And Professor R.V. Vaidyanathan, also known for another timelines also, he is a musician as well as a best excellent homeopath. And only some people know about him. But as a first and second and third batch students, when we are with him in the field works, we can enjoy his kirtanas in the field works, as well as some of our department people, they used to go for medication as he is an best homeopath. Then no doubt, it was a golden period. It was a golden period to the geography department during his stay in Andhra University. And I pray Lord Venkateshwara to give to our beloved Professor Vaidyanathan full energy and health throughout. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Madam Professor Emma Malini, for your kind words and appreciation and acknowledgement of all that you have received from respected Vaidyanathan sir. Thank you for sharing your experiences. Thanks a lot for being here with us. We are pleased to have and are happy to know that we have eminent geographers from proposed South Asian Geographers Association on this platform. And I would like to invite our special guest, Professor Attarur Rahman sir from Peshawar, to say a few words. Professor Rahman sir, please.
Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you very much, Professor Chavan, for conducting this very important 55th episode on founders and makers of modern geography in India. Thank you, the president of the session, Professor Rana Pratap, convener, and the speaker for a detailed elaboration on Professor Rajagopala. Thank you, the guest of honor, Professor Yadav, Professor Emma Yava, and all the eminent observers from the saga, and special thanks to Professor Devendra Prasad. Really, it was nice listening the episode on the Rajagopala. As he was born back in 1931, and he is alive at the age of 93. He was the eminent geologist and geomorphologist as well. I was surprised that there was one full day on fieldwork, especially focusing on the geomorphology and the landforms formation. Let me share with you some of my experiences back in 2018 when I visited Semarang State University, Indonesia, Java State. There was a geomorphology class, and Saturday and Sunday it was used to be a full-fledged 2 days fieldwork for the student of geomorphology. So I think this type of fieldwork need to be introduced in our geography departments as well, because not only learning theoretical part, but that need to be practically studied in the field. That is also a very important point. Then the presenter also highlighted the photogrammetry and remote sensing, visualizing Earth features in 3 dimension using microscope and stereo pair. Yes, it remains part of our geography curriculum. Even today, photogrammetry is one of the important subject we are teaching to our students using the stereoscope and stereo pairs. But this is the area from where we further expanded the horizon of the remote sensing in our geography curriculum. Yes, I understand that geology is one of the closest and relevant field to the geographers. Yes, he was the geologist, but nowadays, if you look into the other countries, means other than the Indian subcontinent, usually the physics people, the chemist, the environmental science, the economists, the geologists, the disaster management students, they are getting the graduation degree from the geography department of various developed nations. So I mean, we must work in close collaboration with our sister disciplines. So I think his wonderful contribution that remind me one thing that you were talking about the R.L. Singh. So I request Devendra Prasad Singh, if you have not yet organized any episode. So when I was student, I was studying the cartography book and the map work book written by R.L. Singh. So I think that must be highlighted. And another Bible of the physical geography, A. Das Gupta, which is still part of our geography curriculum at bachelor level. So with these words, I'm not taking much of your time. Thank you, Professor Raju, for highlighting the key areas of Professor Rajagopala and highlighting the key features and contribution in the field of geography. His contribution, it will remain our memories and it will be part of our geography memories. Thank you all, and thank you all the eminent geographers and the geography family attending the today's episode. And thank you, Professor Chavan, for giving me the opportunity to be part of this very important